In our last video, we worked with our service layer, and in this video, we are going to work with our controller layer. Now, what is controller? Controller is the entry point for HTTP request, and it defines the route, that is like URL path, and it defines the HTTP method like get, post, put, delete. It reads data from the request in the sense like body request, URL, params, query string, all these, and then calls the service layer, and after that returns the appropriate HTTP status code and response body. Now, in our use case scenario or in our application, we are going to use these status codes. Like if 200 means it is okay, and it is going to be applied for the get request. For create request, we will be applying 201, that is for created, and again it is a kind of success status. And if there is no content like success nobody, then 204, and bad request it is going to be 400, and for not found we are going to use 404. So these are the status we are going to use in our application. Now let's move on to our code. I already have this controllers folder over here, and I'm going to create one file, and it will be named as product controller.cs. I need to close this, and here I'm going to call not this autofill up has come up. I'm going to call the ASP.NET Core MVC Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.MVC, sorry, MVC, and then I'm going to call the DTOs and services. All right, now the namespace, again I don't need these curly braces, I prefer this way. So product catalog API dot controllers. Now I'm going to define the controller class, but before it I am to provide some of the attributes in our controller class. So first attribute is going to be API, or let me type it the class first. So public class product catalog product controller, and which is going to take the controller base. Let me be it very simple at first. Now in this controller I'm going to provide some attributes. One attribute is going to be API controller. Now this controller, this attribute enables automatic model validation and binding and problem details response. So we don't need to worry about those validations and binding, like model validation, model binding, or problem details responses. So it will be taken care by this attribute. The next attribute I'm going to use the route, that is going to be route, and inside this route I'm going to have API slash, then in the brace, I mean in the box bracket, it will be controller, like this. Now this attribute, this route API controller, this attribute sets the base URL to API slash products, I have not written products over here, but the controllers class names minus controller. So it is going to take the base URL as let me type it here, the API slash products. Now whenever we are sending request by API slash products, it's basically remove this part and it triggers to this controller file. Now here I need to add one more stuff, that is going to be the controller base. And first of all you need to have this service, so this service is going to be private read only. Then I need to call this interface first, so I product service, and that is going to be underscore service. So we are not going to directly call the service class, we are going to call the I product service, and that is mapped with the main service class. Let me show you how it is. Let me check the naming convention. So I product service, and the spelling is correct. Next I'm going to have this constructor over here, so public product controller, and here I'm going to have this I product service, and here's the service local variable. Now inside controller we need to assign underscore service equals to service. Now first thing, we are going to create the routes from here. So I'll first create the get, and it is going to be API slash products. It is going to be, the method is going to be http get, and then we're going to call public async, then task, and here we're going to call this I action result. And then I'm going to provide get all. Now I'll take a local variable that is going to be products equals to await. Then I'll call the service layer, and from service we have this function already there, or method already there, which is get all sync, and we need to return it. So I'll return it with OK and products. Now this is the kind of advantage we are having if we are using I action result. So it means we are returning OK from this. So this is going to be tasks, and we don't need to specifically tell okay this is going to be 200 or 201 or something like that. Now let's move to the next one, get API, and this is going to be product get by ID. So I'm going to send the ID in the query parameter. So products slash let's say any ID. Now again I need to have the same thing, so I'll copy from here, and instead of only http get we need to provide the query parameter, which is going to be ID like this, and this is going to be get by ID, and here we need to have that ID in the parameter. Now we don't need this products, we need only product. So await service get, and it will be get by ID, and here is the ID. I think we have something else, let me check. Get by ID async. So this is going to be get by ID async, and this is the ID. Now now here we need the condition. The condition is If product is null, let's say we don't find the product with this id, then we need to send not found from the iaction result, else we are going to send the ok and the product. Now this is going to be returned, so I'll type return over here. All right, now next part is for the creation of the product. So this is going to be post method and api slash products. So method will be http post and then public async task I action result and then create. Now here we need this from body. This from, let me type it first, from body. Now this from body tells ASP.NET to deserialize the JSON request body into the DTO. This is good, right? So we don't need to manually uh, work on the deserialization. It is taken care by the ASP.NET. Now after that we need to have the DTO, that create product DTO. Now we need to create this product, so await then service dot create create async, and here I need to provide DTO. Now I'm going to store this in a variable. I'll call it created, and after this I need to return this, that return. Here I'm going to use this created add action. So this is going to be created add action, and then I'm going to call this method name of get by id. So again then this new, and I'm going to take only id equals to created dot id and then the created. Now what is created add action is, it is again part of this iaction result, and it returns 201 with a location header pointing to the new resource. So this is basically taken care by this iaction result, and these are the method we need to provide that, and this is the object we have defined here. Now this post request has been completed. Now we need to move to the next, which is put. Then the API is going to be API slash products. Again, it is going to take an ID. So in real URL, it will not have colon ID, it will have the ID number like this. But I prefer like this to be in comment. And the method is going to be again HTTP put. And similarly, like get by ID, you need to provide the ID like this. And after that, again, we are going to create one method over here, public async. Task, and here again I'm going to take I action result, then update. Now update takes the ID, that is int ID, integer ID. Now again I'm going to use this from body attribute for this deserialization purpose, and we need to provide the DTO. So we have this update product DTO. Now I'm going to update it, so await. Again I need to call this service and we have this method over here, update async, and here we need to provide id and dto like this. Now I'm going to store this again in a variable updated, and I'm going to return it. For that, again we need to have this condition, so return updated. If updated is null, then we need to send not found, else we can send okay and the updated object. Now last, the delete part. So delete is again going to have the same, like with id api slash products slash id, and the method we are going to have it here is http delete, and again we need to provide this id, and I'm going to call this function public async task. Again I'm going to take I action result, and then the method name is going to be delete. Here I need id. Now we need to delete this from the using service layer, so await service dot delete async, and it will take the id only. Now again I'm going to store it in deleted variable, and now we need to return this. So again return if deleted, then not content, because we are not going to send any content, else not found. Not found, I think spelling is correct. Okay, so this is going to be our controller, and we have completed the controller layer. These are the all methods we have used: get by id, then post, and then http put, then http delete.